Elsie, draped in mourning black, arrived at the imposing Blackwood Manor. The mansion stood tall and foreboding, its Gothic architecture casting long shadows in the misty twilight. Her husband Arthur had passed away, leaving her the sole heir to his family's vast and mysterious estate. The weight of this inheritance pressed heavily on her shoulders. A chill wind whipped around her as she stepped out of the carriage, the mansion looming above like a watchful specter. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the rustling of leaves. She clutched her shawl tighter, a strange unease settling upon her. The mansion seemed to breathe, its ancient walls whispering secrets of the past. Inside, dust-laden portraits of stern-faced Blackwood ancestors lined the walls, their eyes seemingly following her every move. Each portrait told a story of a bygone era, filled with both grandeur and sorrow. The air hung heavy with a silence so profound it felt almost suffocating. Every corner of the mansion seemed to hold a memory, a fragment of a life once lived. Elsie wandered through the darkened hallways, each echoing footstep amplifying the unsettling stillness of the mansion. The vastness of the estate felt overwhelming, each room a labyrinth of shadows and echoes. This grand inheritance, she realized, felt more like a gilded cage. The opulence of the mansion was undeniable, but it was also a place of isolation and haunting memories. Elsie couldn't shake the feeling that she was not alone, that the spirits of the past were watching her every move. One afternoon, exploring the mansion's dusty attic, Elsie stumbled upon a peculiar sight. The air was thick with dust, and the dim light filtering through the small attic window cast eerie shadows on the walls. In a dimly lit corner, partially hidden under a moth-eaten tapestry, stood a collection of life-sized wooden figures. They seemed to be waiting, silently observing her every move. They were eerily lifelike, dressed in the finery of a bygone era, their painted faces frozen in unsettling expressions. Each figure seemed to tell a story, their eyes following Elsie as she moved around the attic. These were the silent companions, Arthur's family had called them. Passed down through generations, they were more than just wooden figures. They were a part of the family's history, shrouded in mystery and whispers. She ran her fingers along the smooth, cold wood of their faces, a shiver crawling up her spine. The craftsmanship was exquisite, yet there was something unnerving about their presence. That night, Elsie couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. The memory of the silent companions lingered in her mind, their painted eyes haunting her thoughts. Lying in the darkness, she could swear she heard the rustle of fabric and the soft padding of footsteps outside her door. The old mansion seemed to come alive at night, its secrets whispering through the corridors, leaving Elsie with a sense of unease that she couldn't quite explain. Days morphed into weeks, and the unsettling events intensified. Objects moved inexplicably. Whispers seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. Elsie would catch fleeting glimpses of figures moving at the edge of her vision, always disappearing when she turned to confront them. The silent companions, she realized with growing dread, were no longer confined to the attic. She found them in different rooms, in the grand hall, the library, even at the foot of her bed, their painted eyes staring blankly, accusingly. Fear became a constant companion, her nights plagued by nightmares, her days haunted by an unshakable feeling of dread. Elsie became consumed by the mystery of the silent companions. What started as a mere curiosity quickly turned into an all-encompassing obsession. She delved into local archives, poring over dusty tomes and faded manuscripts, searching for any mention of their origins or purpose. Each page she turned seemed to pull her deeper into the enigma, the lines between reality and legend blurring with every discovery. The villagers, she discovered, whispered of a dark history surrounding Blackwood Manor, of a family cursed and spirits trapped within its walls. The tales were fragmented, passed down through generations, each version more chilling than the last. But they refused to speak openly, their fear of the mansion palpable. It was as if uttering the words would summon the very spirits they dreaded. Elsie felt the weight of their silence, a heavy, oppressive force that only fueled her determination. Isolation settled upon Elsie like a shroud. Her days were spent in solitude, her nights haunted by the echoes of the past. The once grand halls of Blackwood Manor now felt like a prison, each room a cell in her self-imposed confinement. Her world shrank to the confines of Blackwood Manor, her only companions the spectral presence of her husband's ancestors and the increasingly unsettling wooden figures that seemed to watch her every move. The silent companions with their lifelike eyes and eerie stillness became both her tormentors and her only confidants in the growing darkness.